Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. It's a little after 8 this morning. It's about 20 after 8. I have a meeting at 9:30, and it'll probably take most of the day. And then I have a 3.5 hour drive home, which I've been listening to a book on tape, the one that I showed you in the last video, Unashamed, by Christine Kane. So I'll probably finish listening to that. And I'd like to talk to you today about relationships. Relationships are hard. Some people are probably, I'm in a relationship and it's not hard. Okay, either you are in denial or maybe you're one of the blessed few. Maybe you're the exception rather than the rule. And I don't mean that a relationship is hard all the time, all the way through, but it does take work to keep a relationship alive. It takes work to keep communication going. And I can tell you from personal experience that while texting is good in its place, and I do plenty of it myself, it certainly is a way for different emotions and words and everything to get misinterpreted. So if you can just call the person or go see them, whether this is a significant other, whether it's your best friend, whether it is one of your kids or whomever, go talk to them in person, because there are so many times where, again, texting, things can get misinterpreted. If you put everything in all caps, of course, people think that you're screaming at them, and you may just have forgotten, or you don't hear the voice inflections and you don't see the facial expressions of the person that you're communicating with. And that makes all the difference, because somebody could type something and you could receive that message and take it so personally, and in a negative way, and they were joking. Maybe they didn't put the face or smiley or whatever, winking face or whatever, and you can get really hurt by that. Something else that can be really painful is not answering someone. I think there is a time and a space of when you should or shouldn't or can or can't. If you are engaged in a conversation, actively texting back and forth, and in particular, if someone has asked you a question, when you pause, it can get misinterpreted on the other end. People can think that that question offended you, upset you, what have you. And that may not be the case at all. You may have gotten a phone call. You may have gotten somebody come into your office or at your front door or whatever that has taken you away from the conversation. The best thing to do in that kind of a situation is simply put BRB, be right back. It just lets the person know that, oh, you got interrupted, you'll be back, you'll or someone's here, can't talk right now. And even sometimes that can get misinterpreted, because especially if it's a really deep question that someone has just asked you, like, where do you think this relationship is going? Or are you upset with me? Or, have I done something to offend you? And when the other person doesn't respond back in short order, especially when you're having an active conversation, that other person can feel horrible. Even though you didn't mean for it to be, even though you got interrupted. you know, you got a phone call or you got somebody at the door or what have you, you know. But it's those little things that can mean so much, even though you don't mean to hurt the other person. Those silences can take a toll. And so it's so important, you know, I guess I'm just going to call this relationships and texting etiquette for this video, because I have had that happen where on both sides, either if I'm texting someone and they don't answer me back, you know, if we're actively texting back and forth and we're having a conversation and they don't text me back right away, like as we have been in the last 5 or 10 minutes, then I think, especially if I've asked something again deep, it's like, okay, what's going through their mind? Oh, they really are thinking this way. You know, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have even asked that. You know, these different things. And so I think that it's so much easier. And this happens between my boyfriend and I know that I'm a little too tenderhearted, but I'm not going to apologize for that, because that's just who I am. And God made me this way, so I'm thankful for that. I would rather be myself than most anybody else, just because I'm thankful of who God made me to be. But I find that it's just easier to pick up the phone. I'll text him sometimes and say, can I call you? You know, I find it so much easier to just pick up the phone and call, and then I can hear his voice. And when I hear his voice, it gives me such a calming peace and understanding deep within that I know that even though he may have worded something in a text that I was kind of like, what? That it just kind of reassures me that of how he truly meant for something to be said, you know. Sometimes he can text a lot, you know, words, and a lot of times it's just okay or oh or whatever, and then of course my brain, overthinking things as it does, will jump to conclusions that as a rule are not true at all. And sometimes they are, but most of the time they're not. And anyway, texting etiquette. If you're texting someone, whether it's a friend, whether it's your child, whether it's the love of your life, use some texting etiquette. And if things are unclear and if you're unsure, pick up the phone and call that person, or set up a time when you're both free that you can talk about things. I think there's nothing better actually than face-to-face conversation to work things out, so you can see and hear, the face and the voice the best. But at least if you're unable to be face-to-face, at least over the phone, to get some type of voice inflection, even if you can't see their face. Or you could FaceTime. Through Facebook Messenger, you can FaceTime. Put a FaceTime call in. So just be kind to one another today and always. Be thankful if you have someone in your life, and be thankful even if you don't, because for a long time, as I said before, I had a hard time. I just could not get into a relationship for a long time because I'd been so hurt before and felt like maybe all guys were the same, and they're not. But so I struggled with that for a long time, and I had to be okay by myself before I could be okay with someone else. And I still struggle. I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle. It's a daily work in progress, but I'm getting there. So anyway, I want to keep this video short and sweet, but don't forget to use texting etiquette. Be thankful for the relationships that you have, whether it's love relationship, family relationships. Just be thankful for all your relationships. And call people. If you're unable to text, back and forth, and, especially if it's something really important or really deep, call them or go see them. It's the best advice that I can give you. So anyway, I pray that you're healthy, that you're happy, that you're safe, and I pray that you have peace in your life. Until we meet again, my friends, have a fantastic day. Pray that it's sunshine where you are. The sun is coming up where I am. And we will talk again soon. Catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.